into order at 4:06 p.m. Starting with the roll call, Senator Bassett. Here. Senator Hashimoto.
Here.
Senator Chimezie.
He's here. His stuff's here. They're in the bathroom.
Senator Carlson. Here. Senator Roberts.
Here.
Senator T. Schaefer.
Here.
Senator Hawk.
Here.
Senator Hansen.
Here.
Senator Karuchuri. Senator Karuchuri. Senator Osmond. Senator Osmond. Senator Dustin. Senator Saha. Senator Saha. Senator Spears.
Here.
Oh,
Fancy.
fancy.
Competition
Senator
now.
Nguyen.
Hell.
Competition. Senator Uzefa. Senator Uzefa. Senator Wayne. You're here for
Proxy,
Senator. Senator Pina.
Heard it.
Senator Pina, please reach out to our office manager Amber to get your placard.
Yes, ma'am.
Senator Nowak.
Howdy.
Senator Flynn.
Here.
Senator Hopwood.
Here.
I did.
President Stiff.
Here.
Vice President Silversole.
Here.
Speaker Khan here. All right. Moving on to our first order of business, which is presentations. When I originally sent out the agenda, we had one presentation, but I moved that to new business because that's where it felt more appropriate. So we do not have any presentations for today. Moving on to open forum. Do I have anyone for open forum? Sam.
Howdy folks, Sam Steiger with Maverick Adventures. I have two items in Speaker Con. May I request that members of the Senate or student government take out their phones for a second?
Yes.
If you have a Droid or an Apple phone, feel free to go to the App Store. And I want you to search MNSU Campus Rec. Because this semester, Campus Rec's been rocking a brand new app. And it has quite a bit of things for you. It has the ability for you to check in on open hours. It allows you to actually use your phone as your MAV card to scan in and access some of our Campus Rec services like fitness activities, Auto Rec Center, the rock wall, lots of stuff in there. But I'd also like you to look at the Maverick Adventures events, like the snowshoeing series that's coming up. We have 3 more snowshoeing events coming in the next few days. All of that can be registered right through the app or on our website. Pretty easy. You can do it whenever you want, but that's what I'm sharing. Campus Rec app. Also just checking in about some Maverick Adventures snowshoe series events coming up. Thank you.
All right, thank you. There's the technology we're talking about. All right. Next, I have Cindy.
Hi, Senators. I'm Cindy Janney, and I'm Dean of Students and Director of Residential Life. And I'm here to ask for, if you are willing to lend your support. The legislature set aside a small amount of money for peer-to-peer support on college campuses. And so the system has set up a process where they're inviting campuses to make a proposal for a grant to try to get that money to set up some peer-to-peer support on our own campuses. There's a small group of people working on this. The deadline's pretty soon. I don't have details because the small group of people just started working on it, and they're working through different models that are possibly, that are already set up that could be used as the method of this peer-to-peer support, how it would be delivered. And I'm also gonna reach out to some more groups, but if, I don't know the specific method to ask you for your support as a group, so I thought I'd come to open forum and do it that way.
Thank you, Cindy.
Sure.
We have a question from President Stitt.
Yeah, I could possibly write a consultation letter for you and speak with it during committee and then get it back to you, if that's all right?
You can, if I can just say in the grant application that you're willing to, I can send you an email and say thanks for your willingness, and then you don't have to do anything. So if that takes that off your list, thank you so much. Okay.
Awesome. Vice President Silversole?
I was just going to say, Senator Carlson, this might be something you're interested in, because I know you talked about student advising. So I would maybe connect with Dean Janey and see if you can get involved in this group.
That was actually what I was just gonna ask about.
So,
Thank you.
I'm in email, so you can find me there, and you can just shoot me an email and I'll let you know when our next meeting is.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks so
Senator
much.
Roberts? We have another question. Senator Roberts?
When is that deadline?
It was originally March 4th, and I understand that they have pushed it back, but I'm not the person who asked, and so I don't know what they pushed it back to, but they need to get it, they have a timeline, so they need to get through it pretty fast, so I don't know what it is exactly. Sorry.
Thank you. And no further questions on Zoom either. Awesome, thank you, Cindy.
Thank you very much.
And then Scott, did you have your hand raised?
I did.
Awesome, then you're next.
Afternoon, everyone. Scott Nelson, Athletics. Next week, our fee advisory committee is coming to present. Just passing out a little did you know on Maverick Athletics for you guys to bring you up to speed on some stuff that's happened over the last year in the athletic department. So wanted to get that in your hands before our presentation next week. Looking forward to presenting, and that's really all I have, but I just wanted to ask if there's any questions and get that in your hands. So.
Thank you. Do we have any, Senator Carlson?
This is kind of a side question,
Yeah.
but I've just been hearing a lot of like talk about, I guess, was there damage done to the football field from Hockey Week?
That's a great question. You know, they're still tearing stuff down out there
Okay.
at Blakesley, so I don't know if we'll see it. I know all the precautions that were taken to make it as good as possible were taken, so until we get the thaw and get the 1,100 tons of sand that was brought in to make it level off the field, we won't know what was done. So as soon as that stuff's done, probably in April, we'll know more. But I know they were extremely cautious to make sure nothing did happen, so I'm hoping that is best case scenario for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any further questions?
We look forward to talking to you guys next week with our
All right, thank you,
presentation.
Scott. Do I have anyone else for open forum today? Anyone for open forum? Anyone for open forum over Zoom? All right, no further open forum people. Moving on to approval of the consent agenda. Do we have any dissent on the approval of consent agenda? Any dissent on the approval of consent agenda? Any dissent? All right, the consent agenda is approved. Moving on to officer reports, starting with President Stitt.
Hello, everyone. All senators and Max. I'm just playing, but hello, everyone. Welcome to Senate this week, and I just have a few updates for you. First, as far as appointments, we are looking for 2 students, one to serve on the provost search, and then another to serve on the President's Commission on the Status of Women. Both of these committees are highly essential, so if you're interested, I can send out an email, or you can just email me letting me know that you are interested. Next, as I mentioned last week, Students United is having an advocacy conference coming up. Please sign up to attend. This one is going to be in person, so that's going to be way better than over Zoom, so if you can, please sign up. Next, the Housing Task Force has been meeting regularly, and we are getting closer to making a decision about who our external provider for our off-campus housing website will be. I was really excited about what I heard from the 2 people that presented so far, so I will give you an update as we keep going with that. Otherwise, I think Joey will talk about some events that we have coming up, and Scott mentioned next week we'll be hearing one of our first few budget presentations, so I will try to make sure that you guys can maybe see that budget beforehand, so that way you can come prepared to ask questions next week, and then possibly get to talk about it in committee beforehand as well. That's all for me.
Awesome. Do we have any questions for Vice President? Oh my God, President Stiff. It's the middle of the semester. You all know where I am. Do we have any questions? Senator Roberts. I got you.
My first question is on the housing. Can you elaborate what about those presentations to us a little bit?
Yeah, so I think we've had 2 presentations so far, because to find an off-campus housing provider, we have to do the RFP process, which is basically just looking at a couple of different companies and seeing what they have to offer. The first was, I keep forgetting their name.
College pads?
Yes, College Pads. The first is College Pads. I could probably give you more detail on what exactly they said, if I get their emails and all that we've been sending back and forth. But the first is College Pads, and the second was Off-Campus Housing Partners. Basically, they're both offering similar things as far as giving us a percentage back for what they make or what they're getting from advertising and stuff like that. But other specifics I can definitely get to you. They're pretty much offering the same thing, but we'll figure out which one we like better, I suppose, in the coming weeks.
All right. Thank you. And then Senator Hansen.
I was asking about the provost search.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe there's a conflict between someone who's already on a search committee, or would that be not a conflict?
That is not a conflict in my eyes. So if you're already on one search, then I don't think that has anything to do with the next. So if you're interested, let me know.
Thank you.
Senator Paulson.
I was just wondering if you guys had a chance to look over our proposal for the vacancy elections.
Yes. So Shayla emailed me about that too today. We'll definitely get you guys that feedback at least by next Tuesday, so that way you guys can make any changes and then present it hopefully next week. So I'm excited to see that, and good job at Biddies for doing that.
Thank you. Senator Roberts.
Do you mind sending out the information on the advocacy?
Yeah, I can do that. And then you guys also might have probably have received an email from Students United about that, but I can definitely get you some more information on how to sign up and the links for that. Oh yeah, there is a free code. So the first, I think, 70 to 100 students.
Well, I think there's one by campus, so it's like
Yeah.
10 to 11 for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10 to 11.
So the first however many students get a free entrance to the conference. So please look at that.
Yeah. And then, okay. Moving on to Vice President Somerville.
Perfect. So hi guys, that code is Advocacy 7, I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up one more time during Monopolis and maybe pop in there, but I'm pretty sure it's Advocacy 7. So when you go to fill it out on the website, I made the mistake of filling out all of my information and then realizing that you're supposed to put the code in first. So put it in the code and then it'll make you fill out your information. Because otherwise it's 100, which still isn't bad, but it's meant to be free. So sign up quickly for that. The next thing I have is, so about 11 of you, I would guess, between 8 and 11 of you stayed back last week to talk about budget stuff. And so that was a very preliminary conversation. If you weren't able to attend that, talk to a senator who did. There's senators all around the table, and make sure you kind of get up to speed on kind of what we talked about there, and start looking at the documents as they come out, because we need to start having conversations about if we go over that 2%, what's our backup plan? If we don't, we need there needs to be kind of a plan A, plan B, and plan C. So we need to start thinking about that, because there's been a lot of different approaches about how to handle that. So start looking at that. Next thing is student health services. I gave a presentation to the student health services bright and early Tuesday morning. So we got a chance to speak with them about the Wellness Center and kind of get their feedback. They were super supportive, and they shared our woes about trying to find like a good space for it. So yeah, but it aligned really closely with their mission. So we look forward to working with them. And then finally, President Stiff, Speaker Khan, and I spoke with the President's Council on the Status of Women earlier this week, and we had a chance to kind of air out some of our concerns about being the first female exec team, what specific obstacles we've experienced, what kind of discourse we've been faced with, and how we can make not just improvements on how we can be better supported, but how can we make kind of top-down improvements as well. So yeah, that was a really good conversation.
There it is.
Oh, that was a really good conversation, and we look forward to hopefully having more like that. So that is all I have for you guys today.
Just to add to what oh my God, Vice President Sorso was telling you guys about the password. It is Advocacy 7, so it's ADVOCACY 7. All right, do we have any questions for Vice President Sorso? Any questions? And was that your placard?
It was for a second. Is it a capital A for the advocacy?
Yes, it's a capital A for the advocacy, and then no other capital stuff, and then 7. Any further questions?
Yes.
All right, moving on to my report. First of all, Senator report sign-up sheet. I was very proud of that sign-up sheet. You know, I was very excited for that. I'm seeing only a few senators signed up to that sign-up sheet, and I've been talking about it for several weeks now. So I'm gonna give you guys until Friday to sign up for both of your senator reports. If I see you sign up for one report, I'm gonna just sign up for you for the other one. So go ahead and sign up for the days that works best for you. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to put you in on a day because we can't afford to have a lot of senator reports on the same day or not have senators give out their report. So I'm gonna wait for you guys until Friday to sign up on those sheets. I'm very proud of that sign-up sheet, so do that. And Senator Hogg also worked on that sheet, so thanks to her for that. Second thing is we're getting ready for the budget season. You guys have been getting ready for that. We are getting ready for that. So I just want to encourage you guys to look into the things you're going to be voting on. You are not just going to vote for yourself, but for your whole constituency. So you're representing not just your own interest, but the interest of your peers. So be careful, look into it, know what your rights are, so that we can have a smooth budget season. Next thing is Photoshoot. I was talking to Lenny this morning about the great photoshoot you guys had, and he wanted me to give you guys these. You guys can go over the pictures that you like the best and like just circle on it, and then we'll get those pictures to you. I'm gonna try to get all of these, but in case we can, because we're trying to find like a hard drive or something or a better way to get it over to you guys. But I'm gonna move these around. I don't know where everybody is, but let's start moving this around here, and then you can circle on the picture you like the most. And then we'll get it over to you. And then next thing is bonding event. I know that PR and marketing team have been working on the ice skating event, and I think Joy's going to be talking about that hopefully today. But other than that, I wanted to just encourage all of you guys to, like, I don't know, come up with some other stuff as well. So that, because it's our last semester, you know, as a full Senate, and I'm looking to make very much connections here. I'm kidding. But let's look into like maybe having more events, maybe having more stuff we can do together, collaborate, go to athletics together, and Scott would be very happy with that, right, Scott? Maybe he can give us pizza sometime. I'm kidding, Scott.
I can make that happen.
But yeah, I'm just looking for senators to be like more collaborative this semester. It's our last semester together, so let's have more fun. Let's become best friends. I'm kidding. Moving on, office hours. If you are still struggling with your office hours, reach out to me. It's not a big deal. We can easily do office hours. If you can't find stuff to do, which I'm sure that I've been encouraging senators to talk about their projects, and I know a lot of the senators have been talking about their projects in GroupMe, which is a great way to get collaborative, get your ideas in, collaborate with other senators on their great projects, or you can just be available to answer questions for other people, and if you're available, that counts as your office hours. So please reach out to me and we can talk about your office hours so that you do your full 6 office hours. Good news for me, and not so good news for you guys. We got a chair that you guys saw in the consent agenda that we just approved. Now that we have a standards chair, I'll talk to you guys later about that. And then, last but not the least, we are seeing not a lot of new students, new candidates applying for the Senate positions, and we have a lot of them. So I just want to encourage all of you, because I feel like budget season would be so much more fun if we have more seats filled around this table. So let's encourage. I know we all know at least 1 or 2 people who would be a great senator. So let's encourage our friends, our peers, our class fellows, our colleagues to apply for these positions so that we can start the budget season and end with a full table. That would be great. I would like to see that. And then I have Dean of the Day, which is Terry Wallach, here with us today in person. Would you like to speak to the Senate?
Thank you very much for that. It's good to see all of you. My name is Terry Wallace, and I currently serve as the Interim Associate Vice President for Research and Dean of Extended Campus. University Extended Campus includes Minnesota State Mankato Online. It includes 7700 France in Edina, that's right there, working with our community colleges like Normandale and many others, as well as our Strategic Partnership Center down in Old Town Mankato at the Hubbard Building. So anyway, I just wanted to say hello to all of you and let you know those are the areas that I'm responsible for. So if you ever have any questions or ideas or thoughts, please reach out. Okay? Have a good day.
Dean, I think we have a few questions for
Oh,
you.
sure. That'd be great.
Starting with Senator Roberts.
It's a question for you.
Oh, you have a question for me? I'll take that later on. Do you have a question for the Dean?
Yeah.
Dean Carlson. Sorry. Senator Carlson. I need to go get a coffee. I'll take that.
I was just wondering if for next year or next fall, if you had seen, I guess I don't know the process, but more majors that will be going online.
More majors online. I can get back to you on that. Right now, for Minnesota State Mankato Online, which is a little bit different, uses a little different funding model.
Mm-hmm.
We have some additional graduate programs that are going to be going online. In terms of undergraduate programs online, somebody's shaking his head over here. You think this is a good idea to have more programs online, do you? No.
No.
Don't think so.
No.
Okay. Okay. So these are very intentional ones. They go through quite a process to determine whether or not they're going to go forward. There will only be probably 3 or 4 new ones that will be moving in that direction in terms of graduate programs. And I'm not sure about undergraduate programs overall. That's something I can certainly get back to you about. Anybody else?
Thank you. Do we have any further questions for the Dean? And I'm going to quickly look at Zoom to see if we have any questions. All right, no further questions.
No.
I now have a question.
For the Dean?
Yes. So what led you to believing that more online programs, fully online programs, is beneficial for graduate students?
Yeah. What led us to believe that that's beneficial? Well, one of the things is that a lot of the focus of in University Extended Campus, our focus is on a lot of adult non-traditional students who are coming back. Many of them are looking for those either undergraduate completion programs for graduate certificate and graduate master's programs. We have many programs here on campus for our graduate students as well. So it's certainly, even some of them would have a online component as well as a face-to-face component. So I think it's meeting the needs of different student populations, actually. Truly, that's what I think is most important. So we work very, very closely with the faculty and the students in these programs, as well as the deans and administrators, to make these decisions. So, yeah, I guess that's how I'd answer it. Do you have something else you're thinking of?
Yeah, but are you consulting graduate students about this?
A lot of the programs do. So when they are, so when faculty are working to make decisions about programs and how they're offered, they consult students and others, definitely. Yep, absolutely. Part of the process. You have something more to say, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I just know a lot of my constituents are upset with this push. A lot of my constituents are really frustrated with how much the university is pushing online for graduate students.
Do you think that is online in response to COVID? Or is this fully designed online programs that we're offering intentionally?
Senator Roberts, may I suggest that you guys schedule a meeting?
Yes, we probably should do
that's a
that.
great idea. Let's do that. My email then is Teresa, Teresa .Wallace, you know the rest. That's a great suggestion, because I am happy to talk more about it. It's sometimes hard to answer global questions in a pretty quick way, so I'm happy to talk more about it.
Thank you, Dean.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, now Senator Roberts, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, it's more of a technological problem with Teams. Maybe because I've been trying to sign up, but it's not letting me input it.
Okay, and then are you having the same problem? Okay, then what I'm gonna do is the senators who did not have a problem, because I saw some of the senators signed in on those, just email me 2 dates that are gonna work for you. And then I'm gonna keep updating that. I know that I'm not gonna have senators who have already signed up, like if there's a date that already 2 senators signed up for that, I'm not gonna put you on those same dates. Can you see if somebody else signed in? Or you just cannot access the Teams at all?
I can access the Teams. I can't see what's in the Teams.
Okay, how about you guys send me screenshots, because I was the one making sure that you all have access, so that's a concern to me if you're not able to see what's in Teams. So maybe like screenshot what screen you're getting at, and I'll try to resolve that with ID Solutions. I can see somebody.
Can I suggest something? Do you want me to put that in a OneDrive and then send it to you so that everybody who's gonna see it will know if anybody typed on it or not or anything like that?
Yeah, we can figure out other ways to share it with everyone too. So I'll look into that. Do we have any other questions? Any further questions? Any questions on Zoom? All right, moving on to senator reports. I have Senator Nowak.
Go over there.
Yes.
Will do.
And then before you get started, Senator Nowak, just a heads up, you have 2 to 5 minutes for your report, and then we'll have questions.
I'm gonna have to speed mode.
That's why I just looked at it and I'm like, I'm just gonna give him a heads up.
You just saw my notebook and you're like, yeah. All right. Making sure this is on for Mark? Yep. All right, we're good. Okay, Senate report. I'm gonna try to run through this fast. The big project that I've been working on that's been my baby so far is an accessibility project. I've been working in cooperation with Val and Nancy Fitzsimmons to try to push through an idea and a game plan that might actually work and be beneficial. Following that, we had communicated with President Inch. We'd reached out and been like, hey, how are we sitting here? What's going on? Are there any updates on the process? And President Inch got back to us and said, this is something that we're still working on and we're still looking to resolve, and said that he loves problem solvers and wanted to see if we could work on a resolution. So it is now our goal to work on a resolution with that. I've also been in communication and working with Senator Carlson on that one to try to see if there's anything that we can do to get some concrete, good solutions to the problem. So far, I feel that it's working very well, and I'm also doing that in conjunction with some groups outside of student government. Second thing, food waste at the cafeteria project. I've been working on that with 6 senators from the room here, Darlington, Hansen, Flynn, Spear, Pena, and Hashimoto. So that's been something that just got kickstarted. I unfortunately wasn't able to make it to the first meeting, but I've been trying to stay in the loop and stay communicating with the gang. It looks like a couple of the things that we're trying to figure out is it possible to just allow for the workers to take the meals home? Is it possible for us to get those meals to the food pantry or other similar places like that? We've been running into a couple of roadblocks, and we suspect that dining services is likely going to be obstructive potentially, as their current policies do not allow for them to do that in efforts to avoid lawsuits or getting in trouble for having rotten food that's given out on their behalf. We received some communication back from them, and I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to look that over, as for some reason the email didn't manage to reach me, which is sad, but I know the rest of my gang has it. Well, not my gang, this is much more Darlington's project than mine. Third thing, menstrual products. We got 50 machines in bathrooms across campuses that are now vending menstrual products for free, which is super swag and awesome. We've also got a lot of the other women's restrooms across campus to be regularly stocked with menstrual products. Where we're sitting now is we don't currently have them in the dining center, which happens to align with the other project, just another thing to tack on there while we're there. And also been in communication about whether or not we want to expand this from women's restrooms to also include gender-neutral restrooms and men's restrooms for non-women who menstruate. Recently met with Senator Bassnett to talk about that very briefly. I think it went well, seeing what we're doing there. And then those are my projects. Now to branch out to the PR and marketing / vacancy election things that I do. PR and marketing. We're doing a lot of stuff to promote scholarships this month, which is super awesome and rad. If you haven't applied for a scholarship yet, do it. It's basically free money. Scholarship Finder at MNSU, MNSU Scholarship Finder .edu. There it is. I'm so used to the at MNSU for emails. Other things, 4 events coming up. That's a lot. The first one, which is going to be the most soon here, we're doing another free skate day, February 27th. That's a Sunday from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. where people will be able to come to the All Seasons Arena and join us for some free skating. Manahil's given a look that I need to speed up. I'll speed up. We're also looking at doing an educational event with student events team in April. I'll give you more details as we get closer to that. We're looking at doing a potential Mav Adventure thing, which I've been in communication with Sam about. Sam is awesome. Shout out Sam. We also have been trying to see if we can get in communication with the charity organization Pedal Past Poverty to put forth a student government team to participate in Pedal Past Poverty again, which is a wonderful charity organization that raises money to help lift people out of poverty by having teams participate in a bike-a-thon. Other things, we are wrapping up to prepping to cover elections in the budget season, and then the vacancy application site we got updated for the Vacancy Elections Commission. Unfortunately, like it was said, we haven't had many candidates in a really long time, which is not very sexy if you ask me. And I think that we should keep trying to recruit more people so that we can have a full Senate for budget season, or at least close to that. I have listed on my notes here, local politics. Joey does them. If anyone wants to get connected to the local Senate district, especially now that we've redistricted, reach out to me. I've been going to several local Senate district meetings, and I know that we don't currently have a city affairs group, so if you want those Zoom links, I can pass them along to people. And finally, I will disappear this weekend. I'm not going to be around this weekend, so sorry if I'm slow to respond to emails.
Thank you, Joey. Those were several looks, though. Do we have any questions for Senator Nowak, starting with Vice President Saversal?
Senator Novak, is it true that we are the current reigning Spirit Award winners at the Pedal Past Poverty event?
It is true that we are the current reigning Spirit Award winners, and we kicked ass last year, especially in the Spirit department. I'm very proud of the fact that I biked 13 miles in 40 minutes last time, so I'm going to see if I can beat that record this time.
Is it also true that we won free Cracker Jack as a result of being the Spirit Award winners?
Not only did we win free Cracker Jack, we also got a ton of McDonald's coupons.
That is true. That's true.
Senator Novak, is that true that I was a part of that and none of you guys ever gave me those free McDonald's?
You know, that is also true, and I believe that President Rihanna Stiff stole them all.
I will talk about that
comment.
later. We will talk about that later. Do we have any questions for Senator Nowak? Non-Senator Max?
I'll take it.
So rude. So rude.
I'll take it. No, I was about the food, and I know that you mentioned that it was more, if that goes that direction too, but I know I work at Olive Garden, and we donate food to, I don't know if you brought that up too, but
Yeah,
that's
I brought that up in the meeting.
how is that, I guess that's the confusion for me, is how is that something that Olive Garden can do, but the dining center can't?
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Ooh. Menahil, would you prefer if I get into this, or would you prefer if I allocate it to Saversal?
You can go ahead, Vice President Saversal.
Okay, to answer that, the dining center does donate food to Campus Kitchen, and so I think the concern might be how much food / how much is being wasted. Those specifics can be worked out, but they do donate food just like Olive Garden, Panera, and a lot of other places do.
And then Senator Novak, did you want to add something to that?
I believe that Senator Hawk is going to take that because Senator Hawk brought it to my attention, so she's got this.
Sure.
So there are a few things that we have to take into consideration, because I work there myself, so I have a few ideas about it. The food that does go into the campus kitchen are the ones which are dry foods mostly, or something that has more shelf life. But at the same time, when we have cooked food here, they have, like, for example, if you take this building for instance, some of the foods can only stay on the shelf for 20 minutes, which means they will go back after 20 minutes. So they're not what they consider as not good enough to be served. And when it's not good enough to be served, we cannot give it to employees or to any other places. Sometimes what happens is that they take those, and once it has been sitting outside, if we take into consideration the UDC, they have been outside. So that's when we see that they're going into the composting. They say they are recycling it for biodegradable composting for that. But when they're sitting outside, they think there might be other things into consideration there as well. At the end of the night, we're turning it off. It might be there. Something might have happened to it. It's outside. Like, it's in a glass cage, but it's still considered to be outside. So they do not want to allow those foods to go into somebody else and they get sick and they get into the lawsuit and all of those things into consideration. At the same time, when I was thinking about it last semester when I spoke to them about it, was that if we do it, then if someone gets sick, they said that we get in trouble for it. They don't want to get their name bad or anything like that. But at the same time, when we allow students to take it in boxes, that's when it's their liability. And what they assume is that the food that they are taking back home will be consumed in a specific amount of time when they're not going to be able to take it while they're here, because of which they kind of don't have it. At the same time, when we think about if they're refrigerating for the next day or something like that, why can't we use that in order to redistribute it? They do not have enough freezer space, because they say that most of them are either allocated to different places they get the food from, or there's a small little place where they keep the food so that they can serve it the next day. So there's not enough freezer space. If we want to consider it to be more distributable, we will have to take into consideration the cost of it, and the cost of refrigeration, electricity, all of those, which I don't think so that's supposed to get.
Senator Roberts, did you have a question?
Yeah, can you clarify about what I might just been something I misheard. Can you clarify what you mean by the next day?
May I make a recommendation here? I'm sensing there's a lot of discussion that can happen on this topic, so why don't you guys schedule a meeting and talk on this? Do we have any other questions about any other thing to Senator Novak? All right, thank you, Senator Novak. All right, our next Senator report of the day is Senator Hansen.
I did it for you.
I appreciate it. My tiny Italian body isn't ready for it. All right. A lot of my stuff is in big groups, so I will be short about it. Okay, so the first thing is also what Joey covered, and which will probably be covered almost every single week at this point, because we have like about 1 billion senators working on it, which is the dining services, I guess, task force that we kind of have regarding all dining services related problems, good thing, that kind of stuff. Which Darlington is kind of like our boss. I would say. He does an amazing job. I gotta commend him, especially for such a new senator. And then we've met with RHA specifically on that, and we're working kind of hand in hand with them. Patrick Flynn especially just got a bunch more recent important information that we will cover in our next meeting. I believe on Thursday, we brought up to the RHA Executive Board regarding what we learned, what we can do as an RHA farther, and then also how can Food Pantry and see what they need, like, want for this. Or the next thing is my second project, which is the parking, which we just completed, I guess our second real meeting this last Monday, which was amazing because we got food, which is great. My roommate loved the cookie so much. It was fantastic. Thank you for that. And we kind of are ready to move on and actually do stuff, is what we're hoping for. And that leads into my third project, which might end up being an extra thing, considering it relates both to the dining services and to the parking, which is parking and loading for the food pantry. Since we currently really have no food pantry designated parking, and there's not really a place for students to come in, off-campus students to come park and get their food without having to park in the free lot and walk all the way completely to the other side of campus. And really the only parking that exists there is paid parking, so that people who are struggling to afford food are not going to park in parking that costs them money so they can get free food. Otherwise they just pay to get the food themselves. It's kind of a backward system. And also loading and unloading, it does cause some problems when donations are coming at the same time that, say, I guess, specifically, the Resident Hall offices are also getting packages or something, and I've seen backups before, especially with how tight that parking is. That's really my only three things. Any questions?
Thank you, Senator Hansen. Do we have a question? Any questions? I would just like to acknowledge the fact that I love to see you guys collaborate on several projects, and it's just so great that you guys can help each other and be passionate about the same cause, so thank you. All right, moving on to vacancies. Like always, I will go through all the vacancies we have, starting with we have College of Allied Health and Nursing, College of Arts and Humanities, College of Education, Graduate Studies Senator, Off-Campus Senator, another Off-Campus Senator, Residential Life Senator, and another Residential Life Senator. So we do not have any candidate for today, but I would like to highly encourage all of you and even people sitting in the gallery to please recommend students who you think would be eligible for these positions to apply for these positions. Moving on to new business, we have Senator Flynn, and he will be talking about election rules.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, Annie.
So I guess I'll go over just some of the verbal stuff about it. We have rules now.
Yay.
Yay. No significant changes to the core set of rules. Basically just adjusting things to reflect the realities of what the elections have become. In particular, the biggest change, I guess, would be the around the requirements for requiring attendance to a rules reading. You would still need to be, you would still need to attend a rules reading, or not attend, agree to the rules, but not necessarily attend the rules reading unless you're part of a party. In which case, at least one person from the party must, and it would take responsibility for the rest of the people in their party understanding the rules. I do look like a duck.
Yes.
So you're going to see the changes that have been made highlighted in green, except for that little parent letter A.
Is there any way you guys can expand it a little bit? How's that looking?
A little more.
A tad bit more. So you guys can just scroll whenever you get to certain areas.
Now, I am not 100% on how this works, but apparently, normally I would read the rules, like go through them. Is that able to be waived?
I would defer to somebody would pass a motion for it.
Yes.
I would still recommend though, at least going through.
We are going to go through the changes, yes, but I'm physically reading all of them.
Are there any motions on the floor to waive Senator Novak?
Motion to waive reading,
Is there a
with the
second?
exception of the changes.
Senator Hawk seconds. Is there any dissent?
Dissent.
Dissent? Seeing dissent, we're gonna go ahead and take just a hands vote. All in favor of waiving the rules, reading, please raise your hand. Of waiving it? No? Okay, all opposed? Okay, let's go ahead and revote.
There's confusion, there's confusion.
If you are in favor of waiving, basically, if you are in favor of not having Senator Flynn go through the rules right now, you will raise your hand. If you're opposed to that, and then you could abstain, I guess.
6 pages.
Yeah, so if you're in favor of him not reading the rules right now, raise your black cards.
My friend is Bristol, can I make a clarification?
5, 6, sure.
This would still, like, the changes would still be reviewed, we just wouldn't be reading every single point that's not
Correct.
changing.
Okay, I saw 10, all opposed, oh boy. If you are in favor, raise your placards and keep them up. Okay, sensing clear majority, we are gonna go ahead and waive.
Okay. If anybody wishes to go over the rules on a one-by-one basis after this meeting, feel free to reach out to me, of course. Yeah. So, for the eligibility, this is where the meat of the changes have been made due to the waiver requirements. Section 3 of eligibility, at least one candidate from each party, if not led by a presidential, vice presidential nominee, required to attend the election rules reading. And then because we are waiving the readings where you would otherwise agree to that, and we could say, well, you went to the readings, all candidates must also agree to be bound by the rules of the election whether or not they personally attended a rules reading. Basically, we will give you the rules, you agree to be bound by the rules, instead of just kind of doing the bureaucratic thing of sitting through a meeting of people just reading the rules. And then this is just, and then under the filing section, these are just more changes to reflect earlier, where the rules reading would only be required of one person in a party. Yeah. And the rules readings, we will hold scheduled rules readings. The dates are not set yet. There's also the possibility to schedule rules readings if the set dates don't work, which will be done subject to schedule and approval by the Elections Commission by request of candidates or whoever. I mean, if someone who is not part of the election wants a rules reading, I guess they could request one.
Continue?
Huh?
It's good to continue?
Yes.
Okay. I'll wait for you to tell me when to go, so.
Okay. And more of the being bound by the rules and the requesting the campaign. Basically, you can't start campaigning until you agree to be bound by the rules, so we don't. So there's more clarity on that specific point.
Okay. Okay.
That change. Oh, I would just.
So we're back to, okay, so still under campaigning.
Yeah, we're still under campaigning, are we?
Yes.
Okay, that change is literally just changing from the word engage to student government page on the campus engagement platform, so we don't have to change that when things change, because it feels kind of redundant to do. Okay, now this one's one that I'm surprised was never actually done. When I first ran, it wasn't made clear to me that I had to finance my own stuff. And that's never actually written anywhere. Now it is. Financial support for campaigns is the responsibility of individual candidates or parties. Neither the Elections Commission nor student government will provide funding of campaigns. I'm surprised that wasn't in there. I mean, when I was trying to understand the rules, so it's in there now.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's,
Last of the changes.
yeah, that's the last of the changes. Yeah.
Thank you, Senator Flynn. Do we have any questions?
I have a comment.
President Seth?
Yeah, so you guys, these are the rules just for how to conduct your own campaign or the campaign of your party. It goes over things like you said, financing, posters, where you can put posters, what times and dates you can start campaigning, other things like that. As he also mentioned, this is 6 pages worth of rules, so we advise you all to go over this if you are intending to run next year. And if you do violate these rules, again, you are subject to the repercussions that will come from that, because you have agreed basically to follow them when you start running. So please, 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 if you're considering running next year, make sure you at least skim over some of these and that you understand what exactly you're getting into.
And just to add to that, I will consider you guys reviewing these rules on your own time as office hours. So that's another encouragement. Senator Dustin?
I just want to know, senators elected for this term, do they have to run again for next, like
Yes.
during the spring
Yes.
semester?
Yes, this Senate ends this semester,
Okay.
and then when the re-election happens, everyone has to run again.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Hall?
So while you were scrolling down with the amount that every single candidate is responsible for their own campaigning, for the posters and like financially, but when you were scrolling down, I noticed there was a section where it said $300 allocated for the president and vice president.
Yeah, that was the same from last time.
Yes. So does that, like, that's only for the president and vice president, or is it gonna be?
It can combine with the overall finances if you're doing a party, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
So to clarify, so a president or vice president, their spending limit for what they can spend on campaigning materials would be up to $300 each, and then other candidates for any other office can spend up to $200 each. I'll share this back out again. The limit for any party would be capped at 4,000 or whatever the maximum of all of the candidates combined, whatever is lower. So, let me go back to Zoom window here. Share screen. And share. So this, point number 3 here is what we're looking at. And that's all independent funding still, so it's not money that's allocated to the candidates specifically, it's just that they're not supposed to spend over that amount of money.
Okay.
Thank you. Do we have any further questions? Any questions over Zoom? Give me 1 second, I'm gonna go real quick. Any questions? All right, so then these rules will be compiled as Senate operating policies, and I think that's all we have for you guys.
And I think we bring these up next week as old business and do a vote, or are we?
Nope, so these operate entirely independently from
Okay.
the Senate. So this will go into teams as an operating policy, so everyone here will be able to go and look at them. And then just to give a rough timeline for dates coming up, the candidacy application will go live before the end of the month, and then campaigning will be able to start in March. So we will get our dates to you with that once the commission has a chance to meet chapters and stuff.
Awesome, thank you, Emmy. And then in case any of you guys are having troubles with Teams, please reach out to me because I want to make sure that you guys all have access to all of these policies. All right, thank you. Moving on to old business, we do not have any old business for today. Moving on to announcements. Do we have any announcements?
We're in the perfect location. Hello, Senators, Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President, Madam President. So you've already heard, but next week we have the first of our budget presentations coming in. So you're going to be hearing from intercollegiate athletics, student health services, and then you're going to be reviewing an outdoor equipment. I'm going to butcher the name of it. So outdoor equipment something fee and a recap of the bubble fee. Of those fees, there is one of them that you'll be voting on. So before you hear from them next week, I'll give a little bit more of a recap so you kind of remember which one's which and what it does. But please come prepared to hear those presentations and ask good questions. If you don't have Teams access, like Minahil said, really make sure that you have that because that's where we store any questions that we have about the budget process for different areas, as well as where you'll be able to view the documents that correspond with those. So that's something that's really important to keep in mind. The other announcement I have is, as you're sitting in a room of wonderful student leaders, we do have nominations open for Student Leadership Awards. So I will email this link out to everyone for nominations, but there are a number of folks in this room who have been recognized in the past. There are 11 awards categories. We will be recognizing the student leaders on April 10th. So I would encourage you to start thinking about the student leaders who've impacted you as a student on campus and maybe consider submitting a nomination. That's what I got.
Awesome, thank you. Do we have any questions? Senator Carlson?
No.
No. Any further questions? Any questions for Emmy over Zoom? All right, no questions. Thank you, Emmy. Do we have Senator Carlson?
I just wanted to do an announcement. Like Joey had said, we're kind of working on finding a solution for Val and people with disabilities. So this Tuesday, College of Democrats meet at 6, and we're having a lot of people show up and kind of give some recommendations on what solutions we can come together and really kind of get something rolling for her. And so it's kind of cool. It's Turning Point USA and College Democrats are going to be kind of teaming up together and doing that. So.
Ooh, we love collaboration.
Exactly. Especially bipartisan.
Do we have any questions for Senator Carlson? All right, do we have,
I'm just wondering, which room are you guys meeting in?
I'm going to hand this off to Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. So we meet in CSU room 203, which is right on over there. And primarily, like Senator Carlson said, we are going to be working on trying to piece together a proposal for meaningful changes that we would like to see the campus take after a recommendation to do so by President Inch. Senator Carlson already said this, but it is at 6 p.m. on Tuesday in CSU 203.
Literally right over there.
Awesome. Yeah.
thank you. Do we have any further questions? Do we have any other announcements? President Stiff?
Yeah, so during budget season, as we're hearing from these different groups, if any of you guys feel passionately about one area on campus versus another, you may meet with them. You don't have to wait on any of us. You may meet with these groups, ask questions, and figure out why they're requesting certain things. If you do that, I would just say make sure you're coming back to committee and relaying that information to your other senators, so that way they know kind of how you're going to vote or what you're passionate about and why. So that way during the budget season, you're not going hard for one area and everyone's confused why. So please, I encourage you to meet with these other areas and figure out who and what you're passionate about, and then relay that information back.
Senator Carlson?
Sorry, one more thing. If you did not stay late last Tuesday when we talked about the budget, one of the things that I just wanted to throw out there that I should have for everyone, hopefully next week, is we talked about we wanted to have access to see which groups got federal COVID relief funding. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that that should be coming soon from me, because that could be good, valuable information.
Senator Hashimoto?
I actually have a question about the budget kind of meeting individually. I just wondered, like, so for the example, the case of like the one senator meets with the certain group of people, and if other senators are not aware of that, the other people are gonna reach out to the same people, the same group of people, and ask the same questions. Like,
Right.
would it be more strategic that we possibly like assign the group of people that we get contact with to the senators?
So I'm not gonna assign you guys anyone just because like this is not something you have to do. It's if you are interested in getting more information. So I would say use GroupMe or email or committee time. Email and say where you're going, when and why, and then that would probably help other people figure that out too.
Any other questions? Any further announcements? Any announcements over Zoom? All right, moving on to roll call. Senator Bassett? Here. Senator Hashimoto?
Here.
Senator Chimizier? Senator Chimizier, please reach out to Amber for your placard. Senator Carlson? Here. Senator Roberts?
Here.
Senator T. Schaefer?
Here.
Senator Hawk?
Here.
Senator Hansen?
Here.
Senator Paruchuri? Senator Osmond? Senator...
I'm here.
Senator Dustin? Senator Staha? Senator Spears? Senator Wynn?
Yeah.
Senator Uzefa?
Here.
Senator Wing?
Proxy. That's not my name.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Max. Senator Pina? Senator Nowak?
Howdy, but it's sad for goodbye.
Aw. Senator Flynn?
Yeet.
Senator Hopwood?
Here.
Senator, President Stiff?
Here.
Vice President Saverso?
Here.
Speaker Khan here. As you guys can all see, I'm having a day. I need Starbucks. So I adjourned this meeting at 5:09 p.m. Oh, hold on, guys, hold on. Robert, we're done.
You're holding it back.
Yes, and it's here.
Why are you so quiet?
Joey, where are you?
Oh.
Where are you going?
Senator Rollins?
Lord.